Good morning friends, welcome back to Parnika tutorials. In the last video, I have discussed what is a function, what are the advantages of function, how to define and how to call the functions in Python. All these concepts I have discussed in detail for you. I hope you have watched that video. If you did not watch that video, I request you to go back and watch that video and come back to this video. In this video, I want to discuss various types of arguments in Python functions. So I request everyone to watch the complete video for better understanding. We have four types of arguments. One is required arguments, keyword arguments, default arguments and variable length arguments. Now first let me discuss about the required arguments. In required arguments, the number of arguments in the function definition and function declaration should be same. The number of arguments in the function definition and function declaration should be same. And one more important point is that the sequence also should be same. Is it clear? If it is required arguments, the number of arguments, because in a Python, coming to the functions, we have function definition and function calling. What are the statements you want to execute whenever you are calling a function? Those statements you will write inside the function definition. So the number of arguments or parameters in the function definition and function declaration should be same, and the order also should be same. Now, let me discuss with a simple example for better understanding. I will write def, which is a keyword, and the name of the function I want to write display. And then I am giving two parameters such as a, b, and then I have to provide the column, and then I want to display the a value and b value. Print a value is like this, and then print b value is then b. Now I have to read the input from the user, the a value and b value, and I want to store them in the variable a and b. So I will write a is equal to read the input from the user, we will use a predefined function called input. Now we know that the input function will return in any value in the form of string, but I want to convert into an integer, so I will do the typecasting. And similarly, I will ask the user to enter the b value with the help of function called input. Enter b value, and then I have to do the typecasting. Then I will call the function called display with the a and b. Is it clear? Now look at here. Once the user has executed this program and he will ask enter the number. Let's take that user has entered the value as 50. Then a will consist of value called 50, and let's take that again, it will display as enter b value. Now user has entered the value as 20, then b will consist of value called 20. Now I am displaying or calling the function called display with the a value and b value. So it will call the display function with the value 50 and 20. Once you call the function, the control will go to the function definition. Now display a, b. A value is 50 and b value is 20. So when you display it, a value is, it will print 50 here, b value is 20, it will display. So this is the way you can pass the required arguments inside the function calling. And look at here, the number of arguments in the function calling and the function definition is same. Now let's take that. Instead of a, b, if I am passing it as b, a. Now let's take that A value is 50 and B value is 20. Then what the values the function will pass? It will pass 20 and 50. Is it clear? Now the control will come here. Now look at here. A value is 20 will come here. Are you able to understand? Because the first parameter you are passing will be initialized in the variable called A, or will be stored in the variable called A. And the next parameter or next value you are passing will be stored in the variable called B. So now A is consists of value 20 and B is having the value 50. So if you display it, A value will display it as 20 and B value is 50. I hope it is very clear for you. Now let me discuss about the keyword arguments. The keyword arguments is very simple. Now look at here. When I call this display B comma A, okay, what is happening? It is displaying it as 20 and 50. But I want to display whatever the value I am passing, that value should be displayed. Now let's take it, instead of this one, I will erase this part. I will simply call display B is equal to 20 and then A is equal to 50. Now I am calling the display function with the values 20 and 50. Now remember one thing. If it is required arguments, we will just provide 20 comma 50. Then A will consist of value 20 and B will be having 50. But this is keyword argument. So now B is equal to 20. It will search where is the B is there in the function definition. Here B value is there. So here B will consist of value 20. And similarly A is equal to 50. So A value will be 50. So then 50 will be displayed and 20 will be displayed. I hope it is very clear for you. So it will search the B argument in the function definition, because this is the actual values and these are the actual parameters and this is the formal parameters. So it will map with the actual parameter with the formal parameter variable names. Is it clear? But when it comes to the required arguments, if I pass 20 comma 50, then A value will be 20 and B value will be 50. But here when you are passing with the keyword arguments, the actual parameters and formal parameters will be mapped. Now let me discuss about the default arguments. In default arguments, the number of parameters in function declaration and function calling, function declaration and function calling may not be same. But when it comes to the required arguments, the number of arguments in the function definition and function calling should be same. But when it comes to the default arguments, the number of parameters or arguments in the function definition and function calling may not be same. What is this one? I will discuss with an example. I will define a function called display. Okay. Every function definition should have the keyword called DEF. And then I am taking one variable A and another variable B is equal to 20. I am giving it here. Okay. Now look at here. Print A, then print B. Okay. Now I am calling the display function twice. Display 10 comma 50. This is one time I am calling. And then display I am calling only 10. Look at here. The number of parameters in the function definition are how many? 2 are there. But when it comes to the function calling, here 2 parameters you are passing, here only 1 parameter you are passing. Look at here what will happen. Now when you are calling the display function with the value 10 and 50, then A value will become 10 and B value will be 50. Initially B value is 20, then it will be replaced with 50. So when the user is executing this one, we will get output as 10 and 50. Are you able to understand it or not? Meaning here is that if the number of arguments in the function calling and the function definition is same, then whatever the values user is passing, those values will be stored in the formal parameters. Is it clear? And the corresponding action will be performed. Now let's take that when user is executing this statement, A value will be 10. B value user has not provided here. Two parameters are required. However, user has provided only one parameter. So the first value will be stored in the variable 10. So A will be 10. Now, as the user has not provided the second parameter, this will be the default argument. So B will become 20. So 20 is there. So A value will be 10 will be displayed and B value will be 20. I hope it is clear here. One of the argument here is the default argument. If user has provided those many required number of arguments, then whatever the argument user is passing, that will be come. If user has not provided that argument, then the default value will be considered here. I hope you have understood the default arguments. Now let me discuss about the variable length arguments. The number of arguments in the function definition and function calling will not be same. Now let me discuss with an example. Let me provide the function definition called display. Okay, it is a user defined function called display, and then I have to provide like this. Now I have to give the formal parameters using the star and then courses. Whatever the argument you are providing, that is you have to provide, and the indentation will start once you give the column. Now let me write it. For I in courses, because I want to display all the parameters or all the courses, then I will write here print I, okay, then end is equal to, like this I am providing. Then what I am doing is that in the function calling, I am providing all the list of courses such as C, okay, then Java, C++, Python, like that I am providing. Okay, now look at here what will happen. If you look at the function calling, how many parameters user is passing? 4 parameters user is passing. So all these parameters will be stored in the parameter called courses. Is it clear? Then for I in courses, so you are going and displaying first C, it will be displayed as an output. Then by default, the print statement, after printing that one, it will go to the new line. But here I am providing end is equal to, within double quotes I am providing a space. So after printing the C, it will give a space, and then next what is there? Java. Java will be displayed, and then C++ will be displayed, and then Python will be displayed. So here in the function calling, you can provide any number of parameters. All these parameters will be stored in the courses and it will be displayed as an output. So I hope you have understood about the required arguments, keyword arguments, default arguments, and variable length arguments. For better understanding, all these programs I will execute in the Jupyter notebook. First, let me discuss a program related to the required arguments. To do that one, I need to define a function called display. It takes 2 arguments such as A and B. Then inside the function, I am writing a statement called print A value is, and then I am writing one more statement is B value is. Now I will ask the user to enter the value. So I am taking a variable called A and I am using the input function and I am writing the statement as enter the A value. And you know that input function will return everything in the form of a string. So I need to convert into an integer. So that's why I'm doing the typecasting. Similarly, I will take the B variable and I will ask the user to enter the B value, and whatever the user is entering, I'm storing in the variable called B. Now I will call the function called display by passing the value of a and value of b. Now let me run the program. Let me enter the a value as 10 and b value is 20. Now I think you can guess what will be the output. You will get the output as a value is 10 and b value is 20. This is fine. Now let me modify the program little bit. Instead of passing a comma b, let me pass it as b comma a. Then let me run the program. Now I am entering the a value is 10, b value is 20. Now can you guess what will be the output? Look at here. In the function calling called display, first you are passing the b value. What is the b value? 20. That will be assigned to the variable a. Then next argument you are passing the a value which is 10. That will be assigned to the b. So here a is getting the value 20 and b is getting the value 10 that you are printing. So you will get the output as a value is 20, b value is 10. I hope it is clear for you. Now let me discuss about the keyword arguments. Let me write the program for that one. Okay. Now let me define a function called display a comma b. The same one. Print the a value is. Let me write a. Then let me write print b value is comma b. Now what I am doing here is that I am calling the display function by giving the a value is equal to 20, b value is equal to 10. Now if I write this program and execute it, I will get the output as a value is 20, b value is 10. I hope it is clear for you. Now let me change the code little bit. First I am taking the b is equal to 20 and then a is equal to 10. Then what will be the output? Still you will get the a value is 10, b value is 20. Look at here, you got the a value is 10, b value is 20. So in the keyword arguments, it will not take the b is equal to 20. Meaning is that you cannot think like it is not same as you are writing display 20 comma 10. In this case, a will be assigning 20 and b is equal to 10. But however, in this program, b is equal to 20. So it will look in the b variable here. There it will assign the 20. So b will consist of 20 and then a will be storing the value 10. I hope it is clear for you. Now let me run the program. So I am getting the a value as 10 and b value is 20. Now let me discuss a program related to the default arguments. Now let me change the code little bit. Okay, b is equal to 20. I am writing, and then what I am doing is that I am passing the values. What I am doing 10 comma 50. If I execute this program, I will get the a value as 10, b value is 50. This is clear, am I right? Because it is a default argument. If user is not providing the b value, then default value will be taken as 20. If user has provided the b value, that b value will be displayed as an output. Now let me call the display function again by passing a value alone. Now I am not passing the b value. Then I will get the output as a is 200, b is 20. Look at here, you got the output as a value is 200 and b value is 20. I hope it is clear for you. Now let me discuss about variable length arguments. Okay, now to discuss that program, let me erase everything. Let me define a function called display. Now I am taking variable length, so I am taking one argument called courses, and then I am writing a for loop for I in courses. I want to print the I. Okay, Then what I am doing, I am calling the display function, okay, with a list of arguments. So let me consider it. I have a C and I have Python, I have the Java. Now I will get the output as C. In next line I will get Python. In the next line I will get the Java. Let me run the program. See, I got the output C, Python, Java. Because you are printing that I. By default, end will be backslash n. If you want to print them in a single line separated by a space, then you can modify the program a little bit. Like you have C space Python space Java. Now let me give another programming language which is JavaScript. Okay, if I run the program, I will get C, Python, Java, then JavaScript. This is the output. I hope you have understood all the types of arguments such as required arguments, keyword arguments, default arguments, variable length arguments. If you still have any doubts related to this concept, feel free to ask me in the comment section. I will try to clear your doubts as early as possible. Thank you for watching the complete video. Have a nice day.